Hey guys, GH. Okay, a couple of guys have asked about an update to chipping and pitching the ball with the new Mr. X Factor, where we've got this lock. Now guys, the real advantage of the Mr. X Factor, which is the hip lock here, and the loading here, and the spreading of the hip girdle, we're basically feeling like this side of the hip is moving forward, and this other side is moving backwards. We're sort of spreading the thighs. That's where we put it. Now, of course, we've got our feet a lot closer together when we chip the ball, so it's hard to get that much accentuation. Now, the other thing with chipping and pitching with Cnannel lock is that we don't load forward like you do in most chipping and pitching actions. Everybody loads forward because they want to, clamp down on the ball and grab it. Well, I don't. I just want to sweep the ball. Because how much do you clamp down on a ball when you chip and pitch? I mean, how much do you do that? It's very hard to regulate that, but it's very easy to regulate not so much a sweep, but just a little brushing. That's what I feel when I pitch the ball and I chip the ball, guys. I feel like there's no deliberate upcocking of the club. I feel like it's pressure down. It's always pressure down. The only thing that lifts the club up is the turning of the shoulder and the hips a little bit. That elevates it a bit. But essentially I feel this. I feel that action when I chip and pitch these type of distance. That's about 40 yards to that flag there. And that's what I feel. I don't feel that I have to cock my wrists up to gain any momentum in the club or develop any power, because you really don't need to in a shot like that. And you can regulate the length of that shot just by regulating your arm, the amount of range of motion you use in your golf swing. That takes a bit of practice. Say 40 yard shot, it's end up being that amount of arm movement. And you work that out through practice. But you don't want to have to work out a distance in your mind for a distance based on how much I'm going to cock my wrist to develop power in the backswing and how much I'm going to uncock it. I don't do any of that. To me, the pitching action feels like, essentially, it just feels like that. It's just a stiff-wristed shot like that. Now that club is released. Look, see that club's released. You don't realise most people want to pitch the ball like that. They want to scoop it. You can't do that, guys. You've got to release the club on every shot you hit, particularly a pitch shot, because that's where you get your impact, and that's really where you get your direction. If you spoon it through impact, you'll just get a push shot. You'll get that effect. I'll show you front on. Most people, when they pitch the ball, they do that, which is a spooning effect. You don't want that. You want a natural release. See where my club is here? That's perfectly released. Look, it's dead square. I haven't rolled it, I've just released it. I've just let it release into the ball. A little bit of pinky down. I have a bit of pinky down, or pinky back, or lead thumb down on every shot that I play, whether it's a little pitch shot, or chip shot, or whatever. Now, we're not around the green because there's a lot going on down there. It's just impossible this time of the year, guys, to get around the green and not have people coming up and want to talk to you and interrupting you. It's not their fault. They just don't realise you're on video. And I'd done a video the other day down there, and I thought there was no one down there, and it went about 17 minutes, and it was really complex. It was for some guys, and the guy I hadn't seen for ages come in. "G'day, JH, you old B, blah, blah, blah," and he was swearing his head off, and he came over and taught us all about 10 new swear words. Well, I know most of them anyway. And he's coming over and going like this, just saying, "I know you love me, come on, give me a hug." He just didn't know. The whole video was ruined. It was funny. He's a good guy. A sensational guy. But that's why I come up here, away from the madding crowd. Okay, guys, we're just going to hit a little chip shot here. We're just going to hit one onto the green. Just one, just a little fringe shot here. It's just, we get locked in here, we get the gunslinger, we get all this connection on the lead side, guys. Here, This is the secret to pitching the ball, is having connection on your chest with your upper arms, because it takes all the flappiness out of the backswing, and it takes all the lifting effect out. If you're connected there and you've got pressure down on your hands, you really don't want to lift it. If your arms are away and you've got that ability here to get the upper arms mobile, you start picking it up. So we're just going to need a little chip shot here. If we're just going to chip one over, just over the fringe onto the green, like that. Now see, even that club's released. Look, that club's released. That's not there. So that's arm balling it. And I've got the stability built in with the hip lock. Hip lock's in here. I've got my little closed stance. Ball's off the trail foot. I've unloaded that lead foot. I'm just sitting on that trail foot. A little bit on there. If I was standing on two scales, I'd have 85-90% of weight on the trail foot and probably 10% on the lead foot. I don't feel anything on the lead foot. So it's a complete opposite of what's taught in conventional pitching. Conventional or chipping, people always load left. They get here and they want to bang down on the ball like that. You can't control that. Well, I can't. Well, some good players have done that, but they're super talents. But I'm talking about guys making life, you're getting in the easy lane of golf. You don't have to make it complicated, and you don't have to be cute. You don't have to try and hit a cute shot. Just hit the shot that has the least chance of creating a problem with the shot. We don't want something that's complicated. If I only hit a little chip shot here, and I cock my wrists up here, and I don't know what that's going to do. I've got no idea what that's going to do, because that club feels totally out of control. So it's all about connection here, guys. It's about loading into that trail knee, keeping that lead knee forward, and you don't want to let any of those legs change. You're sitting into the shot. That's the whole idea of it. You just sit into the shot, keep the lead knee forward, you keep the lead groin forward, you just keep hip lop, you just keep Mr. X Factor going. That's what it's about. And we set up, guys, a gunslinger. Here we are. It's interesting getting a lot of feedback from guys that like the gunslinger. Gunslinger is very natural. Gunslinger's here, guys. Very, very natural. My arm is brushing my shorts here. My arm. If I hit 1,000 shots, I'd probably wear the skin off. There. I'll tell you something interesting, digressing, talking about wearing the skin off. Tom Watson told me that when he used to practice, incredibly difficult, incredibly hard, he used to get chafe marks on the inside of his forearms. So much did he rotate his forearms. He had big forearms, but he used to rotate so hard, and his forearms used to chafe. How about that? And you reckon he didn't release it and didn't rotate it? He said he used to chafe his forearms, used to rotate that hard. He had very big forearms. Like Craig Parry type forearms, Ian Woosnam type forearms. So here we are, guys. We're sitting in. We're loaded in here. Got the lead shoulder forward here. Just don't keep your legs rigid. Don't keep those legs totally rigid and not moving, because you'll lose the flow of the swing. What I like to feel is that in a pitch shot is that trail knee is just operating at the cadence that my trail hand is operating on. I don't try and keep that out of the shot, because that kills my rhythm. I try and get here. Now you watch. I try and get that. That's just a little bit there. And I let it go. But I keep my shoulders closed. I keep the shoulders closed. Here, sit into it here. Hip lock, push back. Yeah. See how we've got that nice straight line release there? And we're hitting into out, guys. It's very important when you're chipping and pitching which channel lock that you just hit into out, because that will give you a consistency of strike. That's the secret. We just get in here, trail foot, get in there, head behind, 5 o'clock nose, and we just hit into out. Here I am, still under it, head still back over my right toe. If you can feel that as a key in your pitching, that your head is back over your right toe after you've hit it, that's a good key. I should have thought of that. Just push it back. Look where my head is there. It's actually over my right knee. Quality of that pitch is so high. I'll just hit a couple towards the, so you can see what my shoulder's doing in terms of the shoulder staying closed. Shoulder's closed. We're just going to hit into out. That's very daunting. That went straight over the camera. I thought that was going to go straight down the lens. Mr. X is sitting over there chuckling. Okay, so watch this. Shoulders closed. Get on top of the ball, get that arm in there, just push it back. See, it's released, guys, look. It's not scooped. If it was scooped, it'd be pointing that way. So the arms are like this. That's what it is. I'm motivated with my chest, my armpit, my pecs. Here. That's what it is. It's that. There's no pick up and no grab or anything with the wrists in the backswing. No cock up in the backswing. So the main message is that we're connected, totally connected. How are you, Frankie? The range manager just come up to say Happy New Year. Happy New Year, mate. You've just been on a lovely cruise. So here we are, we're locked in here, gunslinger here, pressure here. We push down on the hands when we go back, push the hands down. We never elevate the hands on these little pitch shots. Never ever feel you want to elevate the hands or cock the wrists up. Just push out of your lead shoulder and lead pec and the connection there against your hands. Push down here, there. And we just stay in the hip lock here when we hit it here. That's all it is. It's an arm ball. It's just like we've got our arm is another 36 inches long. That's all it feels like. Like I've got a really long arm and I've got the face of the club on the back of my hand. I'm not trying to create any work with the hinge here. There's none of that in the pitch shots. When you start hitting it a bit further, when you want to pitch the ball 80, 90 metres or something, you add a bit of risk because you need a bit more velocity. But with on the around the green, shots like that, 40 yards, that type of stuff, and these little shots here, you don't need to include the wrists. Okay, guys, that's okay. So just to recap, so it's Mr. X Factor. We've got hip lock. We've got basically counterbalance of the butt here. Here, this is unloaded. We're sitting in here. We're pushing back. All the weight is on the outside of the trail foot. The butt is loaded. Even on a little shot like this, guys, there's momentum. There's momentum, so you've got to balance the mass against the momentum of the club moving out. So don't get here willy-nilly and just stand there like a stork drinking, over here like that. Always sit into your haunches, hit into your buttocks, and just push back, push through. Keep the flex, keep the hip lock, keep the head outside the trail foot. There's your indicator. Head outside the trail foot, club released. We don't want any spooning. Okay guys, have a look at that. Any clarification, just let me know.